Dad? Making pizza, something I've been doing for about 25 years. We used to do it every Friday night. I think you liked it. So it's taken me 25 years to get half good at making pizza. I'm still working on it. I don't think I've created the perfect pizza, but I'd like to hand the pizza paddle over to you guys, and I just thought I'd give you a few hints as to how to do it. So the first thing you want to do is actually turn on your oven, because it's got to heat up for about an hour, especially if you're using a pizza stone, which I think is very important to make a good crisp crust. You put the stone on the lowest rack of your oven, and then you turn your oven on to the highest heat that it can get. This oven happens to be 550 degrees, and I think that's pretty standard. And you want to heat it up for about 45 minutes to an hour. So the next part of the process is working with the dough. This happens to be dough that I made, but you can use dough from the supermarket. You can use dough from your local pizza parlor. Whatever you use, it'll turn out fine. It's a lot better than using a preformed crust, but if you're in a hurry, you can always do that too. So your dough should be close to room temperature. It'll be a lot easier to work with. And I like to make about a 12-inch pizza, and that'll require about 12 ounces to a pound of raw dough. And let's spread it out. So you got to use a lot of flour. Don't be shy with the flour, because you don't want things to stick. So you just kind of want to work it, get it kind of round like this to start with. And this is actually one of the more difficult parts of it. It's just kind of patting it out, getting it bigger, just working to the edges. Keep flipping it over so it doesn't stick. Add more flour if you have to. Keeping your hands nice and floury too so nothing sticks. I usually have 2 or 3 going at the same time, because eventually you're going to get to a point where your dough is not going to want to spread out anymore. So you got to let it rest for a few minutes. So then I just move over to the other dough. All right, same thing. And this dough seems to be behaving pretty well, and I think I'll be able to get it flattened out to about a 12-inch round using just my hands. But if it's not behaving, even after you let it rest, then it's perfectly fine to use a rolling pin. Doesn't matter if it's wooden. This one's solid silver. And you can just roll it out. Roll one way, flip it over, roll it another, flip it over. You can keep doing that. We're getting close to the size I want. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Alright, so I think we got the doughs rolled out to about the size we want. Obviously we don't want it bigger than the pizza stone we're using, because that wouldn't work. So this is about the right size. Next thing we're going to do is put it on your wooden paddle, because we're going to use this paddle to slide it, the finished pizza, onto the hot stone. So we have a paddle, and you're going to want to use some cornmeal on the paddle so that the dough does not stick. You want to be pretty generous with this too, just like you were with the flour. Spread it all out. Then we're going to take this dough and put it from here to there. I find the easiest way to do it is just to fold it in half, pick it up, and put it back out again. Now once it's on here, you don't want to press down on it because you don't ever want it to stick. You're going to be doing a lot of this, shaking it, all throughout the process of building your pizza, because you don't want it to stick. So, we're going to start to build a pizza. So tomato sauce. You could use crushed tomatoes with a little bit of herbs and seasonings in it. You know, your Italian herbs and seasonings like basil and garlic and oregano. You can use pre-jarred sauce, whatever you want. You don't even have to use sauce. Another pizza I'm going to make is a pesto pizza, and that has no tomato sauce. So I'm going to spoon a couple spoonfuls of sauce on. You don't want to go too heavy on this. That was two fairly big spoonfuls, and just want to lightly spread it out to the edges. Just like this. Very nice. Lovely. Perfect. Nice. Alright. Let me give it another shake. Alright. Now I'm ready to put some cheese on. You're always going to want to use some sort of mozzarella, whether it's like a skim or whole milk or fresh mozzarella, which is really good. In this case I'm using some skim shredded mozzarella. And I'm just going to sprinkle that on. And you want to be pretty generous, but at the same time you don't want to overload your pizza too much, because what would happen is your pizza won't cook right and it'll get kind of like just wet and gooey. So you just want to pretty much cover it all with the cheese. I like to use several kinds of cheeses. So in addition to mozzarella, you can use provolone. You can use some cheddar if you want. This is Parmesan. You can use Romano. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of this on. This gives it a little bit more salty, nutty flavor. Alright. Okay, I'm going to give it another shake. Keep it going. Now if anything happens to stick, like if this is getting a little bit wet here and that might start sticking, you just lift it up and you get some cornmeal underneath there. Keep it shaking. Alright, so this is going to be an onion and a mushroom pizza, like I said before. I cut these a little while ago. Just arrange those. Alright. And I'm going to put some mushrooms on. You can use any toppings you want, obviously. Pepperoni, onion, pineapple, tofu, oatmeal, whatever you want. Alright, so we're ready to put the pizza in the oven, and next to rolling out the dough, this is probably the most difficult part to do. My first couple pizzas 25-30 years ago were disasters because I didn't do it right. The pizza folded in of itself and just fell to the bottom of the oven. That didn't work out too well. So using an oven mitt, I'm going to pull the rack out with the stone. Alright. I'm bringing this over, giving it another shake to make sure that it's completely free from the bottom of the pizza paddle. So you want to start from the back, okay? And you're just going to just gently shake it, and then you're going to see how the back of the pizza just touches the stone, and now you're just going to slide this out from underneath there, and there you have it. You want to do it as quickly as possible because you don't want the oven to lose heat. So you want your pizza to cook from 7 to 10 minutes. It depends on your oven. And you want to try to avoid opening the oven door. If you have a window in your oven, it's always helpful to keep an eye on the pizza that way. So as you can see, it's the edges where it's puffing up nicely. The cheese is starting to bubble. I think it's helpful to have to set the timer when you first put it in for 7 to 10 minutes. Just so you don't forget about it and you hear the buzzer and it reminds you to take it out. Otherwise you'll just have a black hockey puck. So while you're waiting for your first pizza to finish, we will assemble the next pizza. Alright, so I can see that this pizza is looking finished. It's brown on the top. The crust is nice and brown. It's all bubbly. So once it's cooked, it's easy to get out. I'm just using a smaller paddle, sliding underneath, flicking my wrist to get it on there. I'm going to bring it out, shut the oven so it stays hot. And then I'll just bring it over to my cutting board. And there's pizza number one. That took about 7 minutes to cook. And the final topping I'm going to put on my pesto pizza, and this is totally optional, but I like some pepperoncini. You can use jalapeno too. I like the taste of the pepperoncini. It's not too hot. And I'm using a fork, but you can use your hands. Now, there's a lot of flavor on this with the pesto and the pepperoncini. So I'm not going to put any additional herbs or spices on this, or salt. This is ready to go. Alright. I'm going to give it a shake. Okay, now it's sticking a little bit. And you can't ignore that, because if it sticks now and you try to slide it in the oven, it's just going to flop over and fold itself in half. So I think I got it. Alright. Sliding out. This is important. Slide this out so you have something to work with. And again, just going to kind of flick it forward, let it touch the back, and then slide it out. When you slide it out, it kind of makes the pizza bigger and thinner too, which is nice. And then quickly close it. Set your timer for about 7 to 10 minutes. And you're ready to go. Alright, so the second pizza is ready to go. Alright. That's the pesto and pepperoncini pizza. You want to let it cool a little bit before you slice it, maybe for about a minute. This one's ready to be cut. You can cut it for as many pieces as you want. I like to cut it into about 4 pieces because I can't eat 6. That's a pizza. Not too shabby. I hope that you guys enjoy making pizza as much as I have. It's always fun to make it for other people. So, good luck and bon appetit!